Now, the 19 northern state governors will meet tomorrow, that's November 29, in Kaduna State to address rising insecurity threats across the region. The session, confirmed by Peter Hemba, a senior aide to Nasarawa Governor Abdullahi Sule, will include leading traditional rulers and aims to develop a unified strategy to tackle violence and abductions. Citizens are urged to support security agencies by reporting suspicious activity. Recent attacks highlight the urgency. 25 female students were abducted in Kebbi, even though they've been rescued. A brigadier general was killed by ISWAP in Borno, and over 300 students and teachers were taken into captivity from Niger State. President Bola Tinubu previously cancelled a trip to South Africa due to the security crisis and confirmed that 38 worshippers abducted in Kwara have been rescued.
Well, for more on the meeting of the Northern Governors, we're joined in the studio by Dr. Mukhtar Shagari, who was the former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State and also former Minister for Water Resources. Fantastic to have you this morning, and good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with the meeting with the Northern Governors tomorrow. The other day, we also had the Southern Governors meet on security as well. We had the Senate debate robustly the ongoing security crisis, and from the presidency, we've had a raft of measures announced. So everyone, is talking about insecurity in Nigeria today. We are a country that is used to performances, a lot of meetings, a lot of talks, announcements. Do you see what is currently going on as quite a bit of motion without movement?
Well, first of all, before going to that, let's thank Mr. President and also say that he has shown statesmanship, love for this country, and love for the people of this nation. In the build-up to these security situations we have had for the past 2 weeks, he decided to cancel all his international engagements and concentrate on the issue that matters to all Nigerians. That is the security of all Nigerians. He has been consistently engaging with the security forces in Nigeria and giving out directives, and is in total control. And I think that shows statesmanship, and we must congratulate him and thank him for that and urge him to continue in this line. Now, with regards to the meeting of the Northern Governors, which is probably going to take place tomorrow, I think it is timely and it's very important because the security of our people, their lives and their property must be the top agenda in this country today, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria. But let's put it this way. The security situation we are in today is not just in the north, it's all over the country. So there has to be synergy between the governors of the north and the governors of the southern part of this country, cooperating and coordinating and making sure that what is happening in state A does not spill into state B. Because whatever decisions are taken, if we do not have coordinated way of trying to bring an end to this security situation in Nigeria, it will not work. The governors must work in synergy, they must work together. And I will want to say that after this meeting in Kaduna tomorrow, all the governors in Nigeria must come together and meet and find a way of bringing an end to this security situation we are in, and cooperating fully with the federal government. And I want to, again, commend our armed forces for the effort they are making in trying to protect all of us. They make sacrifices, they go into the bush, they don't sleep so that we can sleep. They go and sacrifice their lives so that we can live. Okay. And I believe they deserve commendation and they deserve our respect. And I want to suggest that there has to be a special fund that we put together, which may be called the Security Forces Bereaved Families Fund, which will help if in the event of these people going into the bush trying to keep us safe, anything happens, either somebody is killed or somebody is maimed beyond, the way he can be able to live a comfortable life. Okay. So that they will have this courage, they will have this incentive that will make them to work harder. I believe we must say kudos to our military, and they must be given everything that they need. And Nigerians, irrespective of political party, religion, whatever, we must all stand and support the president in the effort he's making by declaring emergency on security in Nigeria. That is very important, because without security, we cannot make progress. So that is number one agenda in this country today, and it is good that the president has taken the bull by the horn.
All right, thank you very much for your remarks. Let's just go back to our initial conversation so we don't steer off completely, as much as you had very credible remarks that you made there. Let's talk about the governor's meeting that we're expecting tomorrow, November 29. In your opinion, what do you think should be, the top 3 priorities in terms of speaking points and issues that need to be addressed for the governor's meeting that's meant to hold tomorrow in Kaduna?
The first priority, as far as I'm concerned, is that there has to be unity of purpose. And what is the purpose? The purpose is trying to keep our people safe. The purpose should be the effort to make sure that every state in this country is safe, not only the northern states, but even the southern states. That's number one. Number two is that they should put together resources to make sure that our armed forces are properly financed. They are properly given whatever they need to be able to fight these incidents that is happening in this country, and the kidnappings and so on and so forth. And thirdly, they must have the political will to do what is right in this respect, because the Nigerian people are getting tired, Nigerian people are getting scared. Traveling has become a very difficult thing to do. So I believe that whatever it will take, in their budget they must make special provisions for ensuring that our states are actually safe, our people are safe, our people can travel and do whatever they can to make sure that we are safe. That is why it is very important for us to have a state police, so that the governors will also have control on the police that will be operating in their states and so on and so forth.
Okay, yeah, you just took that from just within me as you were explaining the agenda, setting the agenda for tomorrow's event. That's the issue of state police. I found it very critical because just like it's been resonated so loudly that the country faces an existential threat. And when you look at the nature of this threat, the terrain that they'll be fighting in, you'll discover that there is a need for those who understand and who are quite familiar with the terrain to be at the forefront in leading this campaign. And that again resonates the call once more, and more importantly for state police. But do you think the northern governors now, because in the past there have been cacophony of voices on the adoption of state police, some are saying that they cannot afford it, some can't even meet up with the wage bill, but with the federal government stepping up its efficiency in spending at the sub-national level, many of these governors getting a robust budget now from the Federal Accounts and Allocation Committee. Many are now saying that they are ready for state police. Do you think tomorrow's meeting would resonate that call much loudly on the need to have a quick adoption of state policing?
Yes, I think that the governors should know that we are in a state of emergency. And I think whatever projects they have, whatever they are doing, our security is far more important. So therefore, I believe they should sit down and discuss about this issue of state police and come out with a total, an unequivocal resolution on having a police state. And I believe that the state can afford it, because I know that many states are employing so many SAs, 1,000 SAs and the rest of them. So the money that they are using to do that can be channeled to make sure that there is enough fund for us to employ young people into the state police force. And I believe they can do it. And I believe tomorrow, if they come out with that resolution and approach the federal government, whatever assist they want, I think Nigerians will be very happy.
Right. Still on security, the other day when the National Assembly was having that discourse on security challenges. The former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wase, did mention that at some point, Boko Haram members and criminal elements were found on the recruitment list of the army and the police. And this is more poignant now that the president has directed recruitment of more officers into both forces. What do you think that says about Nigeria and sabotage issues, and what do you think the government should do about that?
Well, first of all, let us cast our mind back to how people are being employed into the police force and the military in the past. Normally, they go to the villages. The village heads knows everybody, from the villages to the local government. So these people are normally, are selected, and the names were normally given by the village heads and the districts and so on. So everybody knows who is going where. But the way people are being employed into our police force and military and so on today is completely different. You find out that somebody from Anambra will go to Sokoto and get a local government, get letter of indigent, and will be able to be listened into the military or into the police and so on. I think we have to go back to the traditional way of doing it. Go back to the villages, tell the village heads to find young people who are prepared to go into the police force or the military and so on, and from there they screen them, take them to the local government, to the district heads and so on and so forth before they are employed. Because if you don't do that, you now allow an opportunity for these kind of miscreants and so on to penetrate the military, to penetrate the police, to penetrate the DSS and so on, and they have information about whatever is going on. So I think we have to go back to the traditional way of doing it, involving the village heads, involving the district heads and so on, who know these people and who know who is who in their own domains.
Now, speaking of these criminal networks, in your view, are these bandits and terrorists in the Northwest increasingly collaborating?
Well, actually, I don't know much about what's going because I'm not a security expert. I cannot say that.
But in your view, at least.
But the issue is this. We have very serious security situation in Nigeria, particularly in Northwest and Northeast. Whatever is needed to do to be able to bring security to our people and to bring peace to the minds of our people must be done. That is what I know. And I believe that if the government gives the security agencies everything that they need, especially at the state level, I believe they have to be able to do something. And security, we must understand, is not just the responsibility of the state or the federal government alone. It is the responsibility of everybody. If you say something, say something.
Yeah, I still want to dig a bit deeper into this narrative of the president giving that sweeping directive to recruit about 50,000 additional policemen, and they've asked for an urgent and emergency training, and also the debriefing of the withdrawn 11,566 policemen attached initially to the VIPs. Do you think we have that institution? Because a few years ago, there was an expose, an uncovering of the police training college, and that shows the rot in that institution. And many people are convinced that there is no way that someone could come out sane from that institution where, considering the deplorable situation in that institution. Now, in addition to the need to profile the newly recruited members, how do you think we should handle this? Is it not a renewed call for the president to quickly do as is announcing this sweeping recruitment? He should also have an emergency overhaul of that training college.
Well, one, if you recruit people, you want them to do the best for you, you have to give them proper training. And proper training also requires that you have to give all the equipments needed for that training. You also have to give the incentive to the people who are training these people to ensure that they are properly trained. So I believe that if the proper, and good administration is created during these trainings, these people will do wonderful. So the issue is that the government, before recruiting these people, must ensure that all the police colleges are properly equipped to do the work they are supposed to do. That is training these young people to come out and defend our nation.
Right, let me take you back to the Senate or National Assembly. The Senate debated the issue of categorizing terrorists or kidnappers as a terrorist activity, and the maximum sentence, maximum punishment, death penalty on offenders. In view of the general advocacy for the abolition of death penalty around the world, and the seeming moratorium we also have in Nigeria, what's your take on this very, very critical issue?
Well, you see, whether you call it banditry or you call it whatever you call it, it's criminality. And
but they're saying it should be categorized as a terrorist act, which is even way higher than just criminality.
Yeah, I know. No, you see, criminality is criminality. Whether it's terror, whether it's not terror, whatever, it's criminality. So there must be appropriate legislations to be able to deal with these things, whether it's death penalty or whatever, whether it's life or whatever, and so on and so forth. I believe that the National Assembly must sit down and look at these issues holistically and come out with legislation that will be able, to help us in solving these problems of criminality, banditry, and terrorism that we have in this country.
So are you for the death penalty?
No, look, death penalty or no death penalty, the National Assembly is in a better position to decide what they should be done. It's not for me to decide whether it's going to be death or it's going to be, life imprisonment or whatever. That is the duty and responsibility of the National Assembly, and that is why they were elected.
To kind of piggyback on the question asked by Dr. Constance, do you support the rehabilitation programs for repentant fighters?
Well, you see, the issue is this. We should understand that if somebody is honestly and sincerely, saying to you that, look, I am a thief, but I will no longer steal again. Now, it is okay to receive him, but before you can even allow him to mingle with your own people, there must be a gestation period within which you can observe his behavior and so on and so forth, before you can say, okay, look, he can join the military, he can be a politician, he can be this and that. Because during the initial period when he has said that, look, I have repented, I'm coming in, you are not so sure whether he did that for a purpose or whether he's honest. So there has to be a gestation period during which you can accept these people back into our society. And there must be some sort of training, to debrief them from what they have been doing, which is causing a lot of headache to this nation and to our people.
Yeah, before we wrap up, I just wanted to make a short comment on what has been raised and which I find very disturbing. Some people feel that for this terrorist institution, now I call it an institution because it has lasted for 15 years, that it's been tied to strong sponsorship. So how can we track down these chains of illicit financing that is used to drive these terrorist activities that has lasted for over 15 years in Nigeria? Just a short one from you.
Well, the thing is that we have to be serious. We have institutions that will be able to trace whatever finance is coming into Nigeria with regards to these issues of insecurity. I don't have the experts to tell you what should be done.
Okay.
But I believe you have the EFCC, you have the DSS, and you have so many other, these institutions that have to be able to trace these things. So I think if all of us do our job, if everybody is on board, then I believe that we'll be able to stop this illicit financing coming into Nigeria to finance this criminality.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mukhtar Shagari, who is the former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State. It's been a pleasure having you on the show this morning.
Thank you very much. My pleasure, too.
That's all we have on Daybreak here today. I'm Constance Ikoko. It's goodbye from me.
And thanks for joining us on Daybreak today. You can have a lovely Friday and a pleasant weekend ahead of you.
And I'm Yolanda Robert. Please do keep it here on Arise News. The morning show is next. Goodbye.